It is now my pleasure to introduce to you a distinguished guest, and our keynote speaker is John Baumann, who resides in Sarasota, Florida, and who flew in yesterday evening just to be with us today. So now this is John, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about John. So let's give him a hand. We're all from Sarasota, Florida. Now, John Baumann is a 17-year veteran of Parkinson's who has demonstrated the desire and discipline to continue to have an amazing life. He exemplifies the word resilience, starting out as an attorney, then after getting the news that he has Parkinson's, continuing to practice for 10 more years while getting prepared to fulfill his lifelong dreams of teaching at a university, writing a book on success, and finding his life's purpose as an inspirational speaker. John graduated from the University of Massachusetts and Cornell Law School. He worked for Exxon for 10 years before accepting the position of General Counsel of Steel Technology, which has a facility in Portage, Indiana. So see, he's partly Hoosier. John was diagnosed with Parkinson's in 2002 when he was 42 years old. Since being diagnosed, he has taught law at the University of Louisville, College of Business, written a book entitled Decide Success, You Ain't Done Yet, Dead Yet, and delivered over 100 keynote presentations. I read his book, and it can help anyone, not just people with Parkinson's. In fact, it made me think about my own life, and I ain't dead yet either, John. I love the book, and without further ado, may I present to you our keynote speaker, John Baumann.
Thank you, Cindy. Keep clapping because Cindy and her group have done a great job. She was on the phone with me at 10 o'clock last night. She's put her heart and soul into this. I'm really glad to be here. She mentioned Portage, Indiana. I've been to many places. I've been to many places in my life. And every place has its own personality. It's amazing to me when I walked through the halls of the hotel last night and I walked in here, how happy and friendly the people are here. And that's what I experienced in Portage, Indiana. And I'm not just saying that, because what I also notice is you guys don't like to be sugar-coated. You like to be told what it is. And that's what I'm going to do today. And it's hard to talk about being positive with Parkinson's disease. For goodness sake, you got Parkinson's disease. Of course you're not going to be positive. Well, you have a choice. Everyone has a choice. You can be positive, or you can crawl up in the bed in fetal position and cry all day. I choose to be positive. And I'm going to point out the power of positivity. Let's talk about finding out. When I first found out, I went to see a doctor, and she said to me, I shook her hand, she looked at me for 2 seconds and said, you have Parkinson's disease. I said, what? You didn't look up my nose, you didn't take blood, you didn't hit my knee with a hammer. How can I have Parkinson's disease? She said, you have all the classic symptoms. You don't blink, your face is a mask, no emotion. Your arm doesn't swing when you walk, you have tremors. And I handed her the paperwork and she said, and your handwriting is illegible. I said, I'm an attorney, of course it's illegible. So she said, you have Parkinson's. And I said, well, I want a confirmatory test. I demand a confirmatory test. She said, the only thing you can do is an autopsy. I chose against the autopsy. So it's been pretty positive. So the second time I went into a deep, dark hole, I said to myself, I need to do something, so I went on antidepressants. Let me just tell you something about antidepressants. Don't be ashamed. Don't feel embarrassed. It's not your fault. You didn't do this. You weren't driving a motorcycle without a helmet on. You didn't jump out of a plane. You didn't hurt yourself. It's not your fault. Nothing to be ashamed of. Jim Baumann is an interesting guy. He was a coach for North Carolina State basketball. We just finished the March Madness. And he brought a team that was the Cinderella story of the millennium to the NCAA championship and won. And before the season started, he actually had his team cut down the nets. cut down the nets to feel what it's like to win the championship. It was a mediocre team. They cut down the nets. That's envisioning. I talk about that in my book. Envision. You have to create an end vision. And the end vision for you, for me, my end vision is to be the healthiest person with Parkinson's ever in the existence of the planet. Why not go bold? That's what I decided to do 17 years ago. Don't give up, don't ever give up. That's his catchline. Jim Baumann says, or said, if you do 3 things in a day, 3 things. If you laugh, you think, and you're brought to tears, whether of joy or sadness, you've had a heck of a day. A heck of a day. First, believe in the power of staying positive. Let me tell you, what is the placebo effect? You ever hear of the placebo effect? When they do clinical trials, they have to have somebody, a group of people, take inert or sugar pills. And the placebo effect is during the first 3 months, everybody in the study gets a benefit. So the people that are not taking the medicine get the same benefits as the people that are taking the medicine. If that doesn't show the power of the mind, I don't know what does. You think you're taking the medicine and you get benefits from it. So that's the placebo effect. Success with Parkinson's. I wrote a book called Decide Success, as was mentioned, and you ain't dead yet. When I go to hospitals and I'm talking to patients and I say, you ain't dead yet, and it comes out a little bit funny, but you ain't dead yet. Second, believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Critically important. You know how when you were 10 to 12 years old and you got home and you walked in the door and you said, I'm home? No one can be home. But you announce your presence with authority. There's no cars in the driveway, but you say, I'm home. We lost that somewhere along the way. We need to gain that back. You need to believe in yourself. Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali I met him once in the airport. He was in my first derby that I came in for. He was giving out pamphlets in the baggage claim. And I got to meet him. I said to my friend, I can't believe this. Is Muhammad Ali always here greeting people in Louisville, Kentucky? Because what Muhammad Ali said was, I'm the greatest. I said that even before I knew that I was. That's pretty powerful. I'm the greatest. You need to feel like you're the greatest because you are. You have the intestinal fortitude. You have the drive. You have what you need to have to fight this disease. I call it Defy the Disease. Defy the disease. Anyone know who this is? Ted Williams. Ted Williams, when he was 65 years old, he was interviewed by a reporter, and the reporter asked him, how would you hit against today's pitching? And he said, I'd hit about 200. 200 is not very good. You wouldn't last in the major leagues very long. And the reporter was shocked and said, are the pitchers that much better today than they were during your time? And he said, no, I'm 65 years old, for Christ's sake. But it's amazing to me, some people call it arrogance, some people call it confidence. I like to call it confidence. What's amazing to me is he still thinks he can get 2 hits for every 10 times up. That's how confident the guy is, or was. Tap into your inner strength. You never know how strong you are until being strong is the only choice. It's the only choice you have, to be strong. Third, believe in your team. That's the team. You've got a team here. There's many team members. You're going to experience breakout sessions where you're going to be exposed to all sorts of other resources. There are resources. Listen, I'm not going to find a cure for the disease. I don't have the time to go back to school for 12 years and get my medical degree and then find a cure. But what I can do is I can influence my condition. I can do whatever it takes to have influence over my condition. And that's what I've done. 17 years. I've had it for 17 years. Now I have my bad days. I have my terrible days. I have days I can't get out of bed. But I fight through it. I defy the disease. Caregivers make a difference. You know how people like initials after the name? Like I was a JD, and there's MDs, and there's PhDs. Well, you caregivers, you get initials after your name. RTBDA. RTBDA. Free book if you know what it stands for. Rarely thanked, but definitely appreciated. Rarely thanked, but definitely appreciated. My daughter was born without a diaphragm. And we went in to see the nurse, and the ultrasound nurse was, we were trying to figure out what the gender of the child was, and then she was doing the gooey stuff on the stomach. And she said, she dropped the wand and went, I gotta go get the doctor. So she went to get the doctor, and the doctor came in, and the nurse said, see, it's right there. And then the doctor said, I don't see it. She said, see, it's right there. The doctor said, I don't see it. She said, it's right there. She said, oh, he said, no, now I see it. And I said, see what? My daughter's stomach had moved up into her abdomen, where her lungs were supposed to develop, because she didn't have a diaphragm. So they had no area for the lungs to develop. So she was given a 40% chance of survival. And she was in life support for 60 days. Today she's entering the graduate school in Alabama in early childhood development. So she's got a powerful, strong individual. I can tell you stories all day about her. But what I wanted to point out was, I didn't thank that nurse. She saved my daughter's life. And I didn't thank her. Because I didn't know that there was another baby that was born at the same time as my daughter. And at a hospital that didn't have the life support system. And since they didn't know that she had what's called diaphragmatic hernia, the baby died on the way to the hospital, to the other hospital. The fact that this nurse saw this, that the doctor couldn't even see, saved my daughter's life. That's powerful. I don't know that woman's name. I wish I could thank her. What I want you to do right now is thank your care partner. If your care partner is here with you and you have Parkinson's, thank them. You can thank them with words. You can give a touch of the hand, touch of the arm. Don't go beyond that. It's G-rated. But caregivers make a difference every day. Let me tell you another positive about Parkinson's. Positive about Parkinson's. Community. The bond, the purpose. What would Cindy be doing if she didn't get associated with Parkinson's? Oh, Rocky, I love it. That was timed perfectly. She's my hero. My wife's from Philadelphia, so that's kind of funny. But I made closer relationships, closer friendships, closer bonds to people due to my association with Parkinson's than I ever would have had. It's kind of strange to say there's a positive about Parkinson's, but there is, if you look deep enough, if you look hard enough. Fourth, and this is critically important, do everything that you can to live the best life possible. How many lives do you get? One. It's not a matter of why you got it, it's a matter of what you do with it. I really enjoyed writing a book. I actually was co-author with a couple other people in other books called Courageous Stories of Inspiration and Roadmap to Success. But writing my own book was quite an experience. I always wanted to do it. And this was my lifelong dream. I got to do my lifelong dream earlier because I got Parkinson's. And I think Cindy mentioned she enjoyed it. I think it's helped a lot of people. It's just a bunch of positive stories about, based on 12 success principles. I say defy your disease. Now remember, there's 5 stages of grief, the last one being acceptance. Acceptance sounds like almost resignation to me. That I accept that I have Parkinson's. Defy your, there's another phrase that I want to make the 6th step of grief, stage of grief. And that's embracing your Parkinson's. Embracing it. I think to this point I've embraced Parkinson's. And I'm putting out the gauntlet to you to embrace Parkinson's. It doesn't mean you don't defy it, but embrace it. I'll give you an example. It's interestingly enough, it's in Indiana. There was a women's group of Parkinson's people in Indiana about 5 years ago that they wanted me to do a workshop for them. So I did a workshop, and there were 35 women in a hotel room with me. We didn't have all this room. But I never envisioned 35 women in a hotel room with me. It was a little bit different than I always thought about. So the first woman said, I've had Parkinson's for 12 years, and the second one said I've had Parkinson's for 8 years. The third one said, start out with I have Parkinson's. I said, hold it, stop, time out. You are not Parkinson's. I have a new phrase that I wrote up. Parkinson's is a part of our lives. Don't allow it to be all of yours. Parkinson's is a part of our lives. Don't allow it to be all of yours. So I went back to the first woman and I said, tell me about you. She said, well, I'm an architect and I designed a building that's in the Indianapolis skyline. Cool. And the second one said, well, I grow prize-winning roses and I went to Blue Ribbon every year. Great. And I went on from there and it changed the whole atmosphere of the conference. It was like the sun shone through, the clouds lifted. It was amazing how the attitude changed. And that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about positive attitude. I'm talking about staying positive. Think about the things you can do, not what you can't do. Don't focus on the life that you had, focus on the life that you're going to have. Because life's not over. Time is of the essence. Start today. Make the commitment to start today. To do everything you can do to influence your experience with the disease. 9 years ago, this is the way I looked. I was still good looking, I know. But I was 215 pounds. My cholesterol was double the limit, bad cholesterol. And I had to do something. I was very symptomatic. I was at my sister's house for Christmas. I remember this. I was drinking too much. And I was not healthy, I wasn't exercising. I just stayed in the basement and watched TV. And I said, I've hit rock bottom, it's time for me to do something different. What I call the 3 Ds: data, drive, and discipline. Data, get as much information as you can. You're here at this conference, awesome. There are so many YouTubes out there and podcasts, if you know how to figure all that stuff out. That you can get data. There's lots of data out there. Drive. Make the commitment. Make the decision to get healthy. Get as healthy as you can be. And discipline. When you get out of bed in the morning and go brush your teeth, you don't think about it. You just do it. What I do is I schedule out my week and I make sure I put in there the things I need to do to stay healthy. You got to start eating out of a different parking lot. Why do I talk about nutrition first? Because first comes nutrition. If you want to be healthy enough to exercise, you've got to eat right. You've got to put the right things in your body. Soak up all you can, data. Now, I'll give this slide out, and people have seen it before, but what it shows is why you need organic for certain fruits and vegetables, and why you can go without organic for other ones. I would say if you have the resources, go organic all the time. One of the reasons they say people get Parkinson's is pesticides and herbicides. Your body, your immune system is working hard all the time to fight off Parkinson's. So if you put more product in your body with pesticides and herbicides, it can only do damage. So we've done it, my wife and I have done completely organic. And that's why I advocate going organic. Drive, what motivates you? This is personal to everyone. Let me tell you what motivates me. I want to walk my daughter down the aisle when I give her away. Not give her away. Whatever. At a wedding. I don't want to be wheeled down in a wheelchair. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to do everything possible. When I'm halfway through my exercise routine, I'm saying, why am I killing myself? Why am I doing this? Why am I spending this time? Why am I eating right? I want to go get barbecue. I want to go eat ice cream. I want to do all that stuff. And I don't do it. Or I keep exercising. That's my motivation. What's yours? Think about what motivates you. Give yourself no choice. No choice. I don't even think about whether I'm going to exercise. We basically map out the week and say, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I don't usually do 7 days a week, but I do 6. I do rock steady boxing 3 days a week. In fact, punch me in the stomach. Punch me in the stomach. Come on, hit me. Pretty stiff. Pretty big core. Just kidding. I woke up one day and I was 170 pounds. I swear I did not get on a scale between 215 and 170. I probably didn't have time to because I was exercising so much. But I made my goal to get, I didn't make it my goal, it just happened. It was a lifestyle change. It's not a diet, it's not a routine, it's a lifestyle change. I made the decision to get healthy, and that turned out to be losing weight. And now I weigh 170. My cholesterol, I don't take cholesterol medicine anymore because my cholesterol, bad cholesterol was cut in half. And I feel healthier than I've ever felt in my life. That's a positive with Parkinson's. I would have died at my desk probably years ago if I didn't get Parkinson's. I truly believe that. Improve your diet. My next book is going to be called What's Left? Because everything has a negative, it seems. There's no particular food that doesn't have some sort of negative. But what I want to talk about is what you can eat. Because people talk about what you can eat all the time. We heard dark chocolate. Yay! Red, red wine. But what you can eat, what you need to reduce and what you need to stop eating. I'm a realist. I'm not going to throw smoke. You can't stop sugar. Look at the table we have here. I'm not saying it's wrong with it, but the sugar. You get enough sugar from fruit. You don't need to have sugar or added sugar. And they should put sugar in everything. So you can't eliminate sugar. Do your best you can, but you can't eliminate it. But you need to reduce it. And that's the baby step. Reduce your sugar. Reduce it every day until you get to the point where you don't need it anymore. What you need to stop eating, drinking. There's certain things you need to stop. And I'm going to give you some of those. Okay. Beans and legumes. Does anyone know what a legume is? Really? I don't know what a legume is. I just said beans and legumes. Green vegetables. This is line-caught fish. I do eat fish. I enjoy fish. But it's line-caught, not farm-raised. Because farm-raised, they pick up metals and stuff. And then substitute almond milk for milk. You're going to say it doesn't taste the same. You'll get used to it. It tastes good to me. So those are the things you can eat. There's many more things, but those are the basic categories. That says dark chocolate. It's pretty dark. I'm a dark chocolate junkie. But not too much. Everything in moderation. And red wine. Things you need to reduce. ice cream, carbohydrates, dairy, and things you need to stop. I have not been to a fast food restaurant in 9 years. I haven't eaten junk food in 9 years. No Doritos, no chips. I don't do it. And that's just that's a commitment I made, because I'm motivated, because I've made the decision and I've read the data. And if you watch podcasts of what people, how they make food, you might stop eating some of it. Why exercise? Positive effect on mobility, improves mood, improves memory. This is our instructor at Rocksteady Boxing. I think it's hysterical. I guess into it. Is that cool? But what was more impressive to me is Winnie. Whenever she comes to the gym, to her class, everyone yells out, "Winnie's in the house! Winnie's in the house!" Winnie needs a nursing aide to do anything, and she'll do all the exercises. She works as hard as anyone, and she can barely walk. If she can do this, you need to try it. And I know some people in wheelchairs and you can't do it. Well, there's other exercises you can do in a wheelchair. There's many exercises you can do. And what I'm saying is there's three components to exercise: sweat, strengthen, and stretch. Look for those three things, and then exercise beyond your comfort zone. Beyond your comfort zone, not too much, but beyond your comfort zone. That's the way I was able to lose the weight and get healthy. Anything else? Stay hydrated. It's hugely important to stay hydrated. It's amazing to me how I'll be off and I'll be unable to move, and I'll drink some water and I'll realize that that's what my body's missing. My body's a barometer. If I put something that I shouldn't put in it, I feel the reaction right away. If I don't have enough water, I feel the reaction right away. I'll tell you a funny story about that. I was between airports, and I went to the restroom, and I had jeans on, and I couldn't unbutton my button. And I had to go to the bathroom. Tell me if anyone else has had this experience. So I can't do it. My dexterity's not there. And I looked out from the stall, and there was a guy at the urinal, and I said, "I've got a choice here. Either I ask this guy in a dirty urinal to unbutton my button, or I let go." It motivated me. I got the button done, but I was just like, I can't make this stuff up. Of all the 100, at least 100 symposiums I've been to, the only thing that I've heard consistently for diet supplements is vitamin D3. I've heard from doctors that you can't get enough of that from the sunshine and whatever else you get it from. Deep tissue massage. Just had a hand massage. It was great. If I had the resources, I'd have a massage every day. Stay engaged. That doesn't mean if you're going to break off a marriage engagement. It means stay engaged, stay involved, and have faith. Faith is something that people don't talk about very much. Whatever your higher power. My daughter said to me one day, "Dad, God wouldn't have given me this," because she has cerebral palsy still. "God wouldn't have given me cerebral palsy if He didn't think I could handle it." That's pretty powerful. That's pretty insightful. 6, never lose your sense of humor. My wife is from Italy. We went to Venice, Italy, and we were walking on a bridge, and all of a sudden, my foot started cramping. Dystonia. I see Jennifer nodding her head. Dystonia. Dystonia is very painful. It's my my foot will always turn to the inside, and toes go all sorts of ways that you never thought they could do. And it hurts, very painful. And it was the first time it happened. So I said, well, another surprise Parkinson's has for me. So I sat down on the curb and sat there for a second. My wife said, are you going to get up? I said, I can't get up. So she reached down, took my baseball hat off my head, and turned it upside down, and handed it to me and said, well, make some money while you're down there. That's a true story.
That's awesome.
I used to play poker every Friday night, once a month, with a bunch of guys, and I was terrible at it. I would lose every week. They loved to see me coming. Well, I developed Parkinson's, and I stopped taking my meds for a couple days before I go to the, and no one knew when I got that fourth queen, because my face never changed. They actually banned me from the game because they said it wasn't fair. Uncover your purpose. Uncover your purpose. Your purpose doesn't have to be something grandiose. It doesn't have to be something huge. It's just your purpose. And maybe it has something to do with Parkinson's. Embrace Parkinson's. Maybe it doesn't. But we're all here for a reason. We make a difference. Let me tell you a story about a friend of mine that passed away at 50 years old, prematurely. He called me the night before he died. He said, he was in hospice, and he said, John, have I made a difference? And this friend of mine from college never really had what we call a successful life. He lost his job, couldn't get another job. His wife divorced him. He was living with his parents at the time. And I said to him, yeah, you made a difference in my life. He said, how? I said, let me tell you a story. When I was a freshman in college, I went from being a big man on campus in high school to a lowly freshman in college. And I was from New York, but I went to the University of Massachusetts. So a lot of the high school kids from their high schools, they stuck together. And I felt like an outsider. So I moved dorms sophomore year, and it felt the same way. I got the same vibes. And I called my mom, and I said, Mom, come pick me up. I'm done with college. I don't want to do this. And she said, give it 24 hours. And not 5 minutes later, I walked out of my head. He made a difference. When I told that story, I was at a celebration of life. I saw his father puff out his chest. So proud. That was a gift. So, teach school. This is a life marathon. Prepare yourself for it. Get healthy. Let me read you Leo Biscaglia saying, because I think it sums up a lot of what I'm talking about. Too often we underestimate the power of a touch, a smile, a kind word, a listening ear, an honest compliment, or the smallest act of caring, all of which have the potential to turn a life around. Be that touch, be that word, be that listening ear, be that compliment, be that act of caring. Let me tell you, I was in San Antonio about a year ago, and I gave a talk, and I stayed for the rest of the session. I'm going to stay. The content is so good at this symposium, I'm going to stay for the rest of the sessions. And I always talk to anyone who wants to talk to me, and there was a line with a few people, and I also sell autograph and sell my books. But the last one in line was this guy, and I said to him, oh, do you have Parkinson's? He said, no, my wife does. But she couldn't make it. I said, what's wrong? He said, because she's in a wheelchair and she just didn't feel up to it. But she's seen several of your YouTubes, and she was really looking forward to this and really excited about it. It's the first time I've seen her excited in a long time, and I'm sorry that she didn't make it. And I said to him, do you live near the airport? He said, yeah. I said, do you think my flight's in 3 hours, maybe you can get me to your house in the airport? He said, yeah. So I got in his car, we didn't call him, got there, I met her, it was really fun, we met, we talked, found out she was a school teacher, He went into the kitchen, and she said, I'm thinking about taking my life. And I said to her, who's the pictures of the kids on the wall? She said, those are my grandchildren. I said, do you think you've taught them everything you need to teach them, Miss Teacher? She said, no. I said, then you have a reason for living. Hopefully I made a difference that day. But that's making a difference. Experience the power of positive. Believe in yourself and your team. Do what you can. Embrace Parkinson's. Defy your disease. Defy it. Challenge it. Did I finish in time?
You can still talk.
Okay. I'll tell some more stories. Let me talk about positive again. Masters is going on, the golf tournament Masters. I noticed something interesting. When a single-digit handicap, that means a really good golfer, for those people that don't golf, comes into the clubhouse, what do they talk about? If I only had a better drive on 5, if I only had a better approach shot on 6, if I only had a better putt on 12. Negative, negative, negative. Whereas when I get in the clubhouse, with my 25 handicap, which is really bad, I talk about, boy, did I stick that drive on 4, and my approach shot on 12 was great, and my putt, remember the snaking putt I had? Positive. It's all about perspective. Are you focused on the positive, or are you focused on the negative? I once asked a friend of mine, what's the best thing that ever happened? What's the worst thing that ever happened in your life? And he said, my divorce. I said, I understand that divorce is a terrible thing, and it's tough. But you're remarried to the woman of your dreams, and you have an 8-year-old child by her. Was it the worst thing or the best thing? Think about that. I'm not saying divorce is good, I'm just saying, think about it. Positive. They have done studies that show that we just finished March Madness, that when a team starts hitting shots, when one player starts hitting basketball shots, the whole team starts hitting shots. And they've correlated this and shown that it's the momentum. There's always momentum in a game. It's amazing to watch the momentum in these games. Where somebody starts missing shots, everybody misses shots in that team. That's power of positive thinking. You think you're going to make the shot, and you make the shot. It's amazing. Virginia won a lot of close games this past session. I think they always believed they'd win. They just believed they'd win. Guy hits a 3-pointer from the side when they're down by 5. And off balance, no way it should go in, 3-pointer. They go down and they get the ball back and they're down by 2 and he takes a shot and he gets fouled and he goes up to the line and sinks 3 free throws to win the game. Was he thinking, oh man, if I miss this shot, the team's going to be upset at me? No, he was thinking, this is money in the bank. I'm good, this is good. Positive, positive, positive. You've got to stay positive. I'm not saying PD doesn't suck, it sucks. It's terrible. It's awful. But it is what it is, and you need to do what it takes to influence your experience with the disease. I actually tried a lawsuit 10 years into my Parkinson's. I tried a lawsuit. And 2 guys from Nashville were accused of stealing the product. And the judge actually said that we're going to lose the case in front of my clients. And they were distraught, and they went home to Nashville. I was living in Louisville and told their families that they were going to be financial ruin. And they came back the next morning. I met them for breakfast. I wrote my closing argument the night before. I said to him, we won. I actually said to him, we won. They said, what do you mean? I thought the judge said we're going to lose. It's up to the jury. I said, I wrote a closing argument. The other one said, can I see it? I said, you'll see it live like everybody else. So I did my closing argument, and we won in an hour. I cited legal precedent of pretty woman my cousin Vinny, I'm serious, Jared McGuire, and Miracle on 34th Street. So the cool part of it is that when they went out to tell their families that they weren't in financial ruin, they didn't, and we won the case, that was a touching and great moment for me. Well, what I made the mistake of doing was asking the court for a video of my closing argument. That's where I made a mistake. Because I got the video, and I thought it was Sam Waterston with Law and Order, and I was terrible. I was a mess. But it's the power of positive. I was positive, and I think the jury picked up on that. They felt the positivity. With that, I'll end my talk. Thank you for listening.
Tell you, there's 3 things that you told us that we to have our lives be happier. And you said to laugh, you made us laugh. To cry, we cried. And also to think. And I think we all thought a lot, didn't we? So thank you, John. It's our pleasure.